the
I
way,
haven't seen you for so long. Good to
Yeah,
see you.
and
wonderful.
by the way, Tim, Penelope has a short poem that she could recite at the end of this.
Okay.
Uh, and so I'm welcoming our YouTube audience. We are online on YouTube live and recording.
Colleen, I just want to say I miss you, Colleen.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've missed you too. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should just have a talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Tim, you are the master of ceremonies, so take
All
her
right.
away.
Oh, I forgot my master of ceremonies hat. But nonetheless, welcome everybody to this. We are delighted to have you. And I said a few minutes ago, we're going to try to hold this to 90 minutes so that we all know what to expect. This is an outcropping of the Confluence idea that we launched a couple of years ago. We've had two of these events in person, one here in my home in Montana, which is very hard to get to. But we had a
did it.
delightful,
We did it.
we did it, and we had a delightful event. And last year we did another one close to Colleen's home in California at a beautiful resort there. Each of these is about a 3-day weekend event. And the purpose is to come together as a community and really support each other in exploring the healing power of the creative unconscious. And a lot of us are claimed to be artists. Colleen and I and Sherry in particular are professional artists, but the human being is a creative animal, and it's the thing that gives us a kind of godlike power in that we can look at the world and create something absolutely new from whatever it is that we encounter. And that creative power is something that, for one thing, has separated us from the rest of nature because it's a very unique power. And it's at once very exhilarating and powerful, but it's also a little bit dangerous because we expose ourselves to new ideas that are always a little bit scary. And when it comes to the human community, oftentimes we're vilified for the things that we think or the things that we create. And so it takes a great deal of courage. And one of the purposes of this group is to support each other in that quest. And we decided, the 6 organizers of this Confluence decided this summer at a meeting in California that instead of trying to keep doing these in-person events that turn out to be pretty expensive for travel and lodging and all of that, even though we don't charge anything for the event itself, we decided we could open it up to more people if we could do it online, have it a little bit more often, and have it a lot less formal. So while in the Confluence meetings, we had rather formal presentations and workshops and community creative projects and that kind of thing. In this setting, what we're trying to do is simply hold up individual creative effort and to share that with each other, not so much with an idea of like critiquing each other's work, which is what professional artists often do, but more just giving a focus to human creativity in itself. And whether you're doing poetry or painting or baking cookies or anything that is a creative act, we want to encourage each other just to be able to say, yes, this is the power that we have. And in particular, one of the things that seems really powerful to me is that human creativity is something that cannot be colonized by anybody else. And we see this in for instance, authoritarian regimes, that the dictator will try to silence the voice of the people by first going after the artists, because the artists are in tune with that healing power of the creative unconscious. And so by encouraging each other in these creative efforts, we are not only giving each other a personal gift, we are underlining the social power of creative movement, and we're also, by that design, leaning against any kind of authoritarian tendency that is in the air around us, in political movements, in interpersonal relations or international relations. So we really appreciate those of you who are here to share today. And I particularly want to welcome Lana Shaheen, who I'm sure you all know. She's been at the in-person conferences just by Zooming in, unfortunately. But she and her family are from Palestine and have been, fortunately, they've escaped from the Gaza Strip, but have been just absolutely devastated by the war that's going on over there. And we're so glad that you and your family are okay. But I tell you, I worry about you every day, and the people that you love at home, and the amazing kind of horrible situation that this puts the Palestinian people in. It's horrible for everybody. It's horrible for the Israelis. And in both communities, it seems to me, it's not really the people who are in power. It's the Hamas in one case, and it's Netanyahu in the other case. And I really hope that eventually both of these communities can figure out how to bring their politics back to a government by the people, for the people. But anyway, all that aside, I really want to hear from Lana. Can you just tell us how you guys are doing and what the state of things are for you?
Okay, thank you so much, Tim, for the introduction. First of all, I just want to say I'm not here to discuss any political approach, because I think each person on earth will not be in the same place that we are in. I think like the 7th of October won't start from the beginning if we didn't have the occupation from the first stage. This is the first thing that I want to start with. So I just like explain everything. And also like me personally living like through a lot of wars and a lot of things that, like no one deserves to live. I think, yes, this time people, like the whole world was able to talk about things just because it's like, like, I don't know, it just like got like more and more bigger than what we expected. But usually in any war, no one will remember us as Palestinians. And I'm talking about like my people, because we've been through a lot, I'm not here again like to discuss politics. I'm just like a human being that I lived in a place and I lived in my own homeland that was occupied by some people, and I wasn't living in a peaceful way, or like neither in an environment that allows me to have a good education or have like like I don't know, not even like a good health status or anything else. That's why I just wanted to explain this. I'm not blaming my people at all, and I will not put myself in this place at all as well. Just to explain, sorry. The thing that I want to share today is about me as a human being again. And as my family lived this last massacre, it was like a horrible thing that we never imagined to live. I lost my cousin the last war, and I lost many people. Like me as a person who lived in Gaza. I lost my home. My dad was building this house for years and years, and we don't even have this house anymore. Like losing a cousin before, and now I'm talking about this cousin who I'm not seeing anymore in my life. It's something horrible, you know what I mean? So I don't know how to explain, but again, I just don't want to get myself into politics because I know it's going to be very, very complicated, and we're not here today for politics. We're here today for art, and I would like appreciate if we don't like take it to another approach, just for my safety, and also because I don't want to be misunderstood, and I just don't want to be like defending, like, you know, I don't know, like I've been like sharing a lot about like the Palestinian cause in the last year, because this year has been happening for a year. This war was happening for a year, and you know, I've been like attacked, I've been like threatened, I've been through a lot, I think, with my family as well, because my family just left Gaza, you know what I mean? And the only thing that I'm thinking of right now is I can't even put my shoes in the people who are living this massacre and this genocide, and I can't even imagine like how they are, like, you know, I don't know, it's very hard. And so that's why now I would flip to the art topic, which is much better than talking about anything else. It's very hard to discuss, honestly. So me joining today is because I just want to talk about two art pieces that I did lately. One of them is called Hala's Eyes, and Hala is my little sister. She lived the war. She was living in a tent for like months. She couldn't even have food. She was leaving hungry. She couldn't even, as Palestinians, yani, we're going through a lot, and people, they don't even see this on the media. She wasn't able to have her safety, or like even sleep at night, just because she's hearing the bombs all over her head. So what I was thinking is, my grandmother, let me first share this piece of art. Sorry. I'm just trying to share my screen right now. Okay.
Take your time.
So this is the piece that I'm talking about. It's called Hala's Eyes. But before I start discussing this piece, I want to show you something else that I did with the installation. Sorry. Okay. So now I think you're going to understand a little bit about me, but you will never be able to relate, maybe because you never lived something like this. This was the installation that I took before I painted this piece. And I just want to mention that I painted this piece in 2 hours. And I did this installation in the same day of the exhibition. First thing is, I want to talk about it. And I told you, like, 7th of October, it wouldn't start if we were not occupied. And by saying this, I mean, this is my grandmother. She died while having the keys of her house, and she was a refugee in Gaza. Like, she's originally from a village called Beit Jirja, and now it's under the Israeli occupation. So this is my grandmother, who lived her whole life, like her whole life, she was expecting to get back to her house. And this is what's happening with my family right now. My family is a refugee. So that happened after the Nakba and the 48. And honestly, like, I can't, my grandmother died. Literally, she was thinking of her chicken, because she left her chicken at the backyard of her house, and she was telling us always that, oh my God, I forgot to feed my chicken. I forgot to feed my chicken. And we were thinking, me and my sisters, every time she tells us the story, that she's delusional. She's living in her delusion. We were like, khalas, like, Teta, you have to forget about your house, because now you are a refugee. No way you're gonna get back, or you're gonna have your right to get back to your own country. And this is something that I cannot even explain to anyone, because no people will not even believe it. My grandmother, in the Nakba of the 48, she literally walked out of her house to find her brother, her younger brother, and her mother and father hanged on the wall, shot in their head. No one deserves to see this. And every time my grandmother was telling me about this, I can see it in her eyes. And you can see before the Nakba and after the Nakba, how she looks like. She lost it. She lost it. She died holding her key, and she thought that she's going to get back to her house one day. Walking you through this, you can see that the shape that I did is a heartbeat. And I was saying before you started, before you looked into my installation, I was saying, look at the eyes. And I want you here to focus with the eyes. This is my dad. My dad before and after. My dad, his name is Fuad. He lived his whole life building a house just to secure me and my sisters, just to give us the safety and food and happiness and love and everything. We lost this house because it was bombed by Israelis, even though we don't even belong to any groups. And here we're not talking about groups. We're not talking about any group. And I just want to mention this. As Palestinians, we don't deserve to live this. This was my dad who lost weight because he couldn't even have food during the war. He was living in a tent, and you can see the tent here. This is a tent. Can you see how much weight my dad lost only in a few months because he wasn't even to have a piece of bread to feed himself and to feed his family. And I remember very well when he told me that, please, Lana, just send us anything. I'm really sleeping hungry. I can't even forget the way when I was checking on him, and even it was very hard to me checking on my family. They were like literally losing connection every day. And I wasn't like even expecting them to live after all of this. Living a genocide is horrible. And this is my mom, before and after, also in a tent. My mom, she was literally living whatever my grandmother lived. And when I called her during the war, she was telling me, if we have food today, if we secured a bread or something, a piece of bread, a small piece of bread, I won't eat it just to feed my two sisters who are stuck with her in Gaza. And this is, I'm telling you about a story, a real story. I'm not talking about like a political group here or anything. And you can see before and after how happy she was and how sad she were after. Look at the eyes. And this is me. Even though I didn't live this war and I was secured outside of Gaza, I couldn't even breathe. I was in depression. I wasn't going to work. I wasn't eating. I wasn't doing anything. And you can look into my eyes before and after. And this is Taja, my sister. She's a dentist. My dad was literally paying money for her to go to her school just because he wants her to be the best dentist in Gaza. And she was dreaming about like building her own dentistry place just to save people and just to help her people. And out of sudden, Taja is living in a tent, calling us on a video call, crying because she lost her best friend who was working with her in the same dentistry. And this is Hala. And all of my story is about my youngest sister, Hala. Hala was traumatized, and until now, she's not a normal person anymore. Hala is only 15 years old. Why would a 15 years old live this? Hala was only 15 years old to witness all of this massacre and this genocide. And just imagine, I have a video that I'm going to share later. I don't know if I'm able to share a video here or not, but that was part of my installation as well. And you can hear Hala saying, oh my God, Dad, help me, every time she hears a bomb. Like, why would a kid live this? At the end of my installation, I bought my grandmother's key and our key. This is my dad's key, and this is my grandmother's key. Can you imagine? My grandmother is like, she literally left this world dreaming about getting back to her house. And after this, on my installation, I tried to put also the good memories, because, your heartbeats get faster and faster every time you just like laugh or smile, or you just like have a happy moment, or you love. And you can see our happy moments in our house, the family pictures, my dad and my mom during Eid, during our celebrations, here in our garden. And all of these celebrations, all of these happy moments are on the other side, because now we don't have it anymore.
Yeah, so Lana, I think it's worth mentioning that your father worked his career as an emergency room nurse.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, so he was saving life as well, and he was trying to save lives as well. And it's very hard that I had to do an art piece that explain all of this. And why I wanted to do this installation before anything else, just because I really wanted to take people to real art. Art is not about happiness and laugh and laughter and whatever it is. Art is all about like also trauma and sadness and ugliness. And sometimes you don't even know how to express your feelings, but this is what expresses your feeling. You know what I mean? So I'll try
It's
to
an
share.
amazing installation that you did there.
Yes,
Boy,
Thank
it really is powerful.
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very.
So could you show us the Hala's Eyes again, the piece again?
Sure. So just to take you through the pieces also like one by one, that was a picture from my exhibition. So you can imagine this is the installation. And then I bought a video of my family in Gaza, literally. And then I did the installation because I don't care about people seeing Hala's eyes, not through the real life. I don't want them to come and just, experience Hala's eyes without knowing the story behind it through the installation and then the video. And you can tell the video is a real, all of these pictures are moving in this video.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to share Hala's eyes just to save some time. This is Hala's eyes. And you can notice that everything was written by me, like it's a handwritten. It's simplicity, because nothing can explain my life more simple than this. Even the description was written by my hands, like literally everything was written by me. You can see the sadness in Hala's eyes. You can see like the eyes through all generation, from my grandmother to Hala, which is the youngest generation in Gaza right now. So I don't know what can explain more, but again, the 7th of October wouldn't start if we didn't have the occupation. This is my point of view. And I'm talking about like, this is me, a person who lived in Gaza, who lived in Palestine. And I'm not with or against anything. I'm just like explaining whatever a human being is surviving, which is ugliest than even talking about politics or like blaming anyone on anything.
Yes, just the fact that your grandmother wanted to go home. That is
Yeah.
such a simple thing that everybody gets to do.
Yeah.
And it just is so powerful to hear you talk about that. I don't think, speaking for myself, I've never been in a war situation. All I can do is empathize with how it must be to have no place to live, to have to live in rubble and be scared all the time, every day. I just think it's astonishing that first of all that you've been able to maintain your sanity, but then all of the people involved in the war that have to suffer from fear and insecurity and finding food is just such a basic human right. It's just really, really tragic. I really appreciate your sharing this.
Thank you for showing us.
Thank you so much.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I would
Yeah,
like
this
to,
is-
I would like to comment on what you've done, Lana. This is the story that you're spelling out for us. I think the way that you did it is a very powerful way. The way you showed the images that of each of them before and then after, to see your family, that I think all of us can relate to, the people in your family as they were before, and the way you show us what has happened to them as human beings is very powerful. The media
Thank you.
is doing, I think the media is the hero of our time. It tries to tell us this story, and I think your personal expression is the most powerful. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Colleen. Thank you.
And, do you,
I would
go
like to
ahead.
thank you too, Alana. I feel such deep compassion and empathy for all of what's happening. It's just devastating for me to think about. How can we do this to each other? But I would like to see your video. I mean, I understand there's probably not time now, but is there some way that we could see it?
I think I'll try to share a screen for the last time. If it works, I'll take you through it. Okay. I don't know if you can. Okay, in 1 minute. Okay, you can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'll take you to my own Instagram, and this is the video. I don't know if you can see right now.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, not this one. Okay, I'll show you like 2 videos if you don't mind, because Hala also is an artist, and I want to share this because I think she would love this, because now I'm trying just to give her the exposure because she lived it herself, not me. So this is okay. Oh, by the way, this is my house. This is where my house is. We lost the whole area is literally. This is what my dad built, and this is all of our neighborhood. So you can just imagine that I lost even my childhood memories, my pictures with my sisters, my even my blanket, my teddy bear that I used to hug when I was a kid. Everything. I just can't imagine that I even left some of my certificates, and my dad and my mom, they were talking about like losing their like now they lost their tapes where they had like their wedding images and everything, so now they don't have any memory from their wedding. Just to
Wow.
imagine. Yeah, which is very hard on us.
Yes. Oh,
Okay, so this is the video that I was installing. That was Gaza before and after.
اليوم الثالث أو الرابع.
Look at the eyes.
أنا ولانا. حلول طلع علي حلول.
So that was the video, and I just tried to put every moment, which in comparison, we had another moment of it. And the last thing that I want you to see is Hala lost her best friend as well in the war, and that was her during the Gaza. This is her best friend. She's a kid. She lost her best friend with all of her family. And the last thing that I want you to see is this is Hala. And I was talking here about her art.
5:30 a.m. in here.
I don't know if you can hear the voice or not.
Yes, we can
If you know
hear.
me, you know that I am an emotional person. But since the beginning of this genocide, I couldn't cry. I couldn't express my feelings. I couldn't cry for a while.
I'll try to
Artwork,
just
because she left
show the
everything
pieces.
behind her.
Okay.
When they about Hala, my young sister.
This is Hala
She's only
during the
14
war.
years old, and she's in Gaza right now. Hala is an artist. Like, she used to have all of her equipment and everything, and her tiny studio at her room in our house, and she used to paint a lot. But unfortunately, I don't have any images of her artwork because she left everything behind her, like when they evacuated the house. My mom is a bit aware that Hala needs to let things out of herself after she lost her best friend. So Hala started painting, and she started sending me pictures of whatever is she's doing. And she started writing captions, giving titles to her pieces. So this one is about her late best friend. It's called One Soul, Two Bodies. She said, this is the description. When I say one soul, two bodies, I mean Hala and Lubna. Me and Lubna have been together since 8 years, which means 8 years of love, laughter, playing, and memories. I never in my whole life imagined to be separated from her, but what happened was against my imagination. 8 years, and we are on the same page. 8 years, we're having the same dreams. You left me alone, and you went to someone who's better than all of us. And then she just said, I cry a lot about you. It's a full heart, but it's a broken heart. And she said before, and she wrote, best friends forever. On the other side, after, she just put wings to Lubna, as if like she's an angel. She's flying in the sky. I don't think I really need to analyze this piece or talk about it, because I think it talks about itself.
أنا ولبنى بنعرف بعض من 8 سنين، وهي أول صحبة أنا تعرفت عليها، لأنها يعني هي أول صحبة معايا ولما كنا صغار كتير من صف تاني. ما لعمري بحياتي تخيلت بيوم من الأيام إنه أنا ممكن أتركها، أو حتى ممكن إنه يعني يصير إشي. لبنى بيوم 21/11 لبنى استشهدت. هي طبعا راحت على مكان أحسن. من أنا وياها بنرسم مع بعض دايما، أنا بعطيها أشياء وهي بتعطيني أشياء، بس للأسف في هاي الحرب أنا ما قدرت أخذ ولا إشي من اللي لبنى كانت عاملة لي إياه. بهاي الحرب لما طلعنا من بيتنا ما قدرت أحمل ولا إشي من الذكريات.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would a
Nice.
kid live all of this, and why would a kid survive a genocide? Hala is still like healing until today. Hala is still having nightmares at night. Hala is screaming in her sleep. Hala is living a lot of horrible things. And it's not only Hala, it's also me. It's also my mom. It used to be my grandmother as well. So again and again and again, I will keep saying this. The 7th of October will not happen if we didn't have the occupation from the first place. Thank you so much, guys. And I don't know, I had another piece, but I don't know if I have enough time to do this, but at least I was able to deliver my message to you guys.
Well, I think it'd be good for us to see it if you would share it.
Sure. Okay. This is the last thing I'm gonna share. I'm so sorry. I know I took a lot of time.
Oh, it's just so powerful.
Okay, so this is the piece that I did like a week ago, and it's called Negotiation. You can see that the background of the piece is blurry, and it makes you live in delusion, right? It makes your eyes like dizzy, and you just feel like uncomfortable looking at it. And literally, this is the way we feel every time they say, oh, there's a negotiation about stopping the war. Oh, there's a negotiation about like stopping the killing. There's a negotiation about like, like releasing whoever and then stopping this genocide because whatever it is. So I think what the world is doing to us is literally they are playing card on innocent people. This is a game, and anyone who's not standing for us is part of this game. So it just like how I feel every time I hear about the negotiation. And I don't know, I just like, the black heart for me, the ace and black heart especially is like is for me like I just feel like this is the paper, the strongest paper and one of the games that just like allows you to have the power even though you're not powerful, you know what I mean? So yeah, so this is the last thing that I wanted to discuss. And
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning too that the reason Lana is here is because about 10 years ago, when Lana was Hala's age, a friend of mine asked me to publish some of Lana's work. She was already an artist and a writer at that time, a decade ago. And so I started to publish Lana's work on the Archetype in Action website where you can find it. And since then, Lana has come to the U.S. 4 times, and 3 times with my particular help, and so we've had a chance to have a personal family relationship with Lana and with the rest of her family too. It's a long story, but
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that for now. So, Tim.
Well, thank you so much. Gosh, it's so hard to follow that. It's just such an impactful story. And all I can say is I hope you know that we are all with you, that we pray for you, and we hope that it doesn't take the rest of your life to work through the pain of all this. Thank heavens you're an artist, and you have the capacity to use your art to help heal not only yourself but others, because it's going to take an awful lot of healing. And I think I hate to say something that good comes out of it, but in fact, it's going to make you a really deep and powerful person for your whole life.
It is already.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to have the voice for tonight. And honestly, it means a lot to me just to deliver the message, because sometimes I just feel like we are misunderstood, or like it's not misunderstanding as much as we're not heard. No one wants to hear us. No one wants to know whatever we're living. And it's very sad because we're human beings, no matter what is the color of my skin, no matter what is the language that I speak. And it's just like I wish sometimes that people know the real truth and not just follow the stereotyping of the media and how like people victimize themselves sometimes. It's just like so unfair for us, because just give me one Israeli who's living whatever I'm living, this one person, and I don't think you will find it, because the media is lying to us. The media is literally brainwashing us. And I just wish like we just have the space to tell everyone in the world that we are the victims, and this life is just happened just because we are living under occupation. And thank you so much for your time. Honestly, it just like means a lot to me. Thank you, guys. And I don't know, like I can't even thank you enough. Thank you for listening to me.
One thing I'd add is just I noticed that in the work you do, I just imagine if I was in your situation, I would be so full of fury and ugliness. But the work you do, it's full of sorrow and compassion, and you know, the heartbeat is such a beautiful symbol, and you use over and over these really beautiful things, looking into a person's eyes, the image of the key. All of those are really positive images. And so I just really applaud you for being able to carry your art forward with these really universal positive images. It's just beautiful.
So much, Tim.
Lana, I would like to say it's very powerful, and it brought a lot of emotion to me seeing that. So I feel very touched that you've shown that. And I do agree, we are all human, and I think there's a lot of psychopathy and madness and political bargaining, and I really feel with all my heart. And you're Hara, the young 15-year-old Hara.
Yeah.
I really, the complex trauma, knowing what I know of what from my studies, that it's a lifelong affliction. Unfortunately, these memories and flashbacks and nightmares, they're they're almost impossible to integrate fully. And my heart goes out to
Thank you so much.
everybody involved in this.
Thank
That's
you
how I
so
feel.
much.
Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, a little point of order. I should have said this at the beginning, but the way we're running these is kind of like a fishbowl, so that the people who are being featured here, and a few of us organizers are kind of on the inside of the fishbowl carrying on this discussion, and everybody else is around kind of observing from the outside. And so we want to keep from having just an open popcorn of comments. But if you have a question, if you think about something you want to ask Lana, for instance, get a hold of Wally in the chat and send the question to him. And at the end of the session, we'll have kind of an open discussion of all the art that's been shared.
Definitely, yeah, we can do that.
So thank you so much, Lana.
Thank
Maddie,
you.
we want to hear from you next. Did you bring an image to share, or go ahead? What is it that you are creating these days?
You have to unmute, Maddie. Maddie, you need to unmute your iPad. We cannot hear you. We can't hear you.
Yeah. And you.
Maddie.
Well,
Sorry, Maddie, you're still not off mute. We can't hear you.
well, I see that Sel has arrived, so why don't we move on to him? We'll come back to Maddie if he can figure that out.
Yeah.
Sel, I'm really glad to see you.
Just a second, Tim. Colleen, do you have Maddie's telephone number?
Yes.
Could you call him, please? Okay, go ahead. Hi, Sel. Nice to see you.
How's it going, everyone? Sorry, I'm actually battling a cold right now, so it was a little tough for me actually getting on. I caught a cold over the last few days, but it's great to see you all. Glad everyone's doing well, and thank you for the invite, Skip. I appreciate it as always.
You're welcome.
So because I missed a lot of it, should I be giving a brief introduction or should I go
Yes, sir.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Carmacel Brown. A lot of people know me as Cell Spitfire. That's my artist name. I'm a graphic designer, muralist, a creative director for a company called Tunnel Vision. But overall, I'm a multi-talented artist. I've been doing artwork my whole life. Started out doing T-shirts as early as elementary school, all the way up until high school. And then I attended the Art Institute of Atlanta, where I graduated with my associate's degree in graphic design. And since graduating, I've been back home here in Annapolis, doing all types of art. Like I said, I'm creative director for Tunnel Vision, where I design sporting uniforms. We've been lucky enough over the last few months to do a lot of designs for tracksuits for some of the colleges out here. So like Morgan State, and different colleges like Howard, we've been able to do some of their band tracksuits. So that's one of my fortes. Every day I'm doing designs for different sporting teams and organizations. But outside of that, I've been known a lot here in Annapolis for doing my murals. I've been doing murals since we've all got out of our COVID hibernation. It's always been a thing of mine to do art, but never would I believe I've been doing art on such a large scale now. I have a mural downtown Annapolis that is one of the largest murals in Anne Arundel County. And after my last mural, which I completed in Bacontown, which is in Laurel, Maryland, I have a total of 32 murals that I've done in the last 3 years. So I'm very proud of that.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Sal, I've made you a co-host so that you could share your images if you want, or at least a couple of them, so we get a sense of them.
Okay. Is it okay if I flip my camera and show my laptop?
Sure.
Hopefully that'll suffice.
Should be all right.
All right. So just going to the top, this is one of the most recent, the court that I just spoke about first, in Bacontown. I actually can't show that one because it's not being unveiled in till November 2nd. But what I can show you all is my first basketball court that had the pleasure of designing and painting in Chicago. So over the summer, I was
Hi.
in Chicago, in a low poverty neighborhood, behind this school, Roswell B. Mason Elementary School, and we had the pleasure of partnering with an NBA player, Alfonso McKinney, who has been who's been carrying on his grandfather's legacy during the summer by hosting summer league basketball tournaments for the youth and for the community here on this basketball court. But for many, many years, the court has been through wear and tear from bad weather, just the kids, traction over every school year. And the school didn't really have a lot of funding to be able to upgrade this court. So Alfonso McKinney took it upon himself, with his MBA money and all of the things that he's been doing for the community. And he partnered with my company, Tunnel Vision, and they flew us out to Chicago. We spent 2 weeks there. It was one of the greatest projects that I've been able to do out of town because I got to, get to know a lot of the kids there that will go to school, some of the kids in the neighborhood, and some of the family of Alfonso McKinney actually came out to help. So this is the finished product of the court here. And just giving you guys a little background about the design. So the colors that you see in this part of the court are colors from all of the NBA teams that Alfonso McKinney had the honor of playing for. So you'll see the Golden State Warriors color combination, the Los Angeles Lakers, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the hometown Chicago Bulls. So when he came to me with the concept, he just said, I want to find a way to mix in all of the NBA teams that I play for into this design amongst the school colors as well. So the bottom half of the court dedicated to the school, and it says push forward in memory of Gerald Bryant, who was his grandfather, who passed away a couple years from cancer. And it also says home of the Mavericks here. So I'm really proud of this court, not only to shed light on his grandfather, Gerald Bryant, but also Alfonso McKinney, who, stuck by his grandfather's word, which was be a great student, an athlete second, and also a father, which he is. So this project was pretty cool because, again, it was my first project in Chicago and one of many that I've been able to do on basketball courts. And I won't go through too much background of some of the other projects, but I will just scroll down so you guys could kind of get a look of it. Again, this is the Chicago project. This project here is actually a local basketball court in Severn. It's a 3-part basketball court, which took 2 years to do. So this one that you're looking at was the final basketball court, but this is a view to kind of show you all of them together. The county here in Anne Arundel County put $1 million into this project. Not only did that $1 million go towards upgrading the basketball courts, but they got new fencing, a whole new additional parking lot. They're upgrading the football field. And as you can guys get to see the 3 basketball courts that I was able to lead artwork projects on. And here's an overall view of all of the courts, the field, the bike trail.
Wow, that's really impressive.
And this was the first basketball court of that 3 basketball court process. Another one that I can speak a bit about, this one is my first project that I was able to do in Virginia over the summer. This school, Herndon High School, heard about me, I guess on the internet, and reached out to me in partnership with Lafayette Federal Credit Union. They had their whole school renovated, but their high school stadium press box was all gray. It wasn't really flashy like everything else they had at their school. So they called me out and got me to go through a design jam session with some of the students and staff to kind of talk about what do they want to display on the artwork at the stadium. And this is what I came up with, highlighting their mascot, the Hornet. And they told me that the students had nicknamed the arena the Nest. So it says home of the Hornets, welcome to the Nest, in a cool font with their mascot shining. And I told them that I wanted to include that sunburst pattern in the background because I felt like it would make it pop out. And they loved it. So this is another great project that I did over the summer. But what I can do is put my website in the chat so you guys could, if you get a chance to check out my website. I've been blessed with the ability to do these great ground murals that span, vastly across neighborhoods and neighborhoods of all different types and colors. So I've just been blessed to be able to do some of these cool murals. This one is here, my alma mater high school, Annapolis High School. They wanted something to show, peace and anti-violence.
I just did it again. I think that I'm unmuted.
But I would be willing to take any questions or hear any feedback from some of the stuff that I was able to show to you guys.
So I wonder if you could show us the Annapolis mural. Just, I think it's just to give a sense of a vertical mural that you've also done.
Yes, sir. Give me one moment.
You see my... No?
Maddie, I'm going to mute you again until we get to you.
All right, I just put my website link in the chat if you guys want to
Okay, great. Thank you.
Follow along. But this is the mural that Skip is referencing here and I spoke about earlier. This is located here in downtown Annapolis. It's titled The Best Place for All mural. The cool story about this mural is it started out as a RFP for artists all around Maryland and, out of the state as well, where they wanted to paint this huge side of this wall, which is 3 stories. You can kind of get a sense of it by seeing that this is the top of a parking garage here and how high this goes. But they sent out an RFP looking for people to come up with a design to showcase how our county here in Anne Arundel County is the best place for all. I happened to submit one of those submissions amongst, I believe, 36 different artists. Out of those 36 artists, 10 of those artists being from around the country. And after all of the portfolios were looked at, myself and 4 other artists were being considered. After debating for a few days,
Wally, I'm gonna go.
The committee
Thanks.
came down to my portfolio and another artist by the name of Cindy Fletcher, who you'll see here. Instead of them choosing one of us, somebody came up with the brilliant idea of getting us to collab. So they got us both on the phone, and ironically, we both were admiring each other's work. As you can see, we're 2 artists of 2 different backgrounds, 2 different ages, but this is one of the best projects that I've been a part of because me and Cindy got not only to paint something great together, but really get to know each other. This project took 6 weeks, which we worked on from Monday to Sunday from 9 a.m. till about 6 p.m. every day. So you can only imagine some of the conversations that we had sitting up almost 40 feet in the air. For the first week of this project, when I tell you guys my legs were shaking like noodles, it was like I couldn't stand, but Cindy being a pro that she is and with her age, she, helped me to get comfortable through the process. And while, it took a week to get through it with my legs, we had some really great conversations talking about music, our artist background, how we started, our family members, and we learned so much about each other. And if you zoom in, you'll see Cindy is there on the mural next to myself. She has her cat. I have my dog. She paid homage to her dad, who was a construction worker who built a lot of things here in Annapolis. I was able to put my uncle in here who has high rank in the military. So it's really cool things that we were able to incorporate in the mural, not only about ourselves, but our families, showing that, with just being diverse and everybody being friendly and just following your passion, you can be successful here. So this is really a great mural that I was able to do. And like I said, it's the largest in the county. And the last cool thing about the mural is it has a interactive piece to it, where if you scan it with your scan the QR code with your phone, and you stand back and look at the mural, the boats will start moving. The blue heron sheds its wings. The blue angels will fly off the building, and a couple other cool things. So not only is it a huge mural, but it has a great interactive piece that I was able to put my creative taste on and give it that extra icing on the cake. So if you guys ever get a chance to come to Annapolis, this is a huge tourist attraction here in the city. And the city of Annapolis has been very great with putting it on different news ads and things to promote the city as well.
Now, is that QR code on your website too?
The QR code is not, but I can send it out so you guys can get a chance to see what it does.
Yeah,
And
there
that'd be
it
really cool.
is.
Oh, wonderful.
this is a cool winter picture from the mural last year. You can see how it pops in the snow.
Beautiful. It's really great.
But yeah, I love when it comes to my art, as you scroll down my website, you'll see I use a lot of bold colors. I love my artwork to be bright and bold, but also with a really clear message. Like you see in here, Love is the Answer, which I partnered with an author who has the book called Love is the Answer. And it has a really cool story with it as well. You can see a lot of the kid volunteers who helped out. I like working with kids of all backgrounds, just to give them a taste of what it's like to start a mural and finish. And you'd be surprised how many kids start out, not really being confident in being able to be a part of it. But when I show them how easy it is and how it's a teamwork and a team building process, and it's all about following directions and learning, it's just such a great thing to see. And a lot of those kids end up trying out art later on down the road. But yeah, again, I have so many different projects that I've done here. I was able to design the poster for the Annapolis Film Festival back in 2023. So these are just pictures of me signing the posters the day we released it.
Wow.
But yeah, I have a lot of cool projects. And all of them are really meaningful. All of them had different initiatives that they wanted to do before starting it. So I have to sit down with those different representatives and really hear what the mission is, and really get a grasp of what feeling do they want to emit from this artwork.
Yeah. And luckily, Sel was working on a mural in my school building when I invited him to Confluence 23. And he was with us in California last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those pictures from California just popped up on my news feed, I want to say a couple weeks ago. So it was exciting to look back on all of those photos and literally close my eyes and put myself back into that room, many rooms that we were in when we got a chance to speak and just dive into so many topics that I didn't even think about before, even with doing art for so many years.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Great.
Well,
Thank you, Sal.
No problem. Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
That's
Mhm.
great.
Beautiful.
So glad you were able to make it, and blessings to you for your healing from your cold.
Oh, I got to credit you guys for sparking so much more creativity in me as well, because I believe when you gave me a chance to speak one of those days, I said that like it was so refreshing to be around so many different people, and we all have like the same synergy and same passion. And I know I walked away with an extra creative burst after that weekend. So I'm thankful to have been able to be there.
All right.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Nadia, it
thanks
looks
so
like
much,
You
Sal.
brought a lot to the Confluence when you came. I really appreciated your input then. And of course, we were making our own mural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, from your point of view, that had to have a special look.
Mhm.
That's really neat. Thought about you a lot since then. It's really nice to see you now and see how much you've accomplished. My gosh,
Yes. Thank you
covered
so
a
much.
lot of square footage.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
creative. Thank you.
Yeah.
No
So
problem.
good to see you.
Thank you too.
Right. So, Maddie, I have unmuted you, or I have requested that you unmute yourself, and Tim, go ahead.
Yeah, until a moment ago, his video was off also. I don't know if you put that back on,
I
Skipper.
put it back on just now.
Okay, great. Yeah, he couldn't figure that out. Great.
Yeah, Matt.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here I am.
So,
Great.
Also, Maddie, we can hear you and
Maddie,
see you both.
you have your thumb over the camera halfway. There you go.
Okay, I've been working. I make very large pieces, and over the last couple of years, I've been getting much more of a conscience of what's going on in the world, and instead of making things for just for decoration, and I've been
Maddie, I'm sorry to say we had a brief video hiccup. So could you start again from you've been working the last couple of years?
I've been working the last couple of years on much more of a social conscience, things that I'm feeling about what's going on in the world and trying to reflect it in my pieces. I've been working with different events that happen, and it's kind of spirals into a reaction. So this is, I have a couple pieces here. I don't know if you can see them. I did on Black Lives Matter and RBG. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Behind you.
Oh, behind you. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm working on ways of integrating these things into my process. So these are, I guess, stories that I feel need to be told. And I'm finding, on this one here, I wrote all the quotes that RBG was famous for.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh,
That's
Cool.
great. Maddie, when you have the sun over your shoulder, we can see things really well.
yeah. It's good. Very
Like just
good.
then.
this one here,
Wow.
this is George Floyd.
Oh,
Oh, that's great.
the eyes again.
Yeah.
How important the expression in the eyes.
Yeah.
I really haven't spent much time like talking to people. I just work in my studio, and this seems like a really valuable experience to hook up with you guys. And I feel like making art is just the best learning experience for me.
So Maddie, where are you
Wonderful
located?
it's wonderful for people to see where you work, Maddie.
Right. And so
Yeah.
we're talking to Matthew Leeds, who lives in Santa Cruz, California. Is that right, Matthew? Maddie?
Right. Right. so from there I've been doing, I did one here. Here's one on the first Chinese-Irish wedding that took place in Santa Cruz in 1883. So it's a story about integration.
Wow,
That,
Wow.
that's beautiful.
Mm.
Show it again, Maddie.
can you see it?
Yes,
there.
yes.
Okay, great.
Very good. Very good.
And then
Beautiful.
And what are these large pieces intended to be?
they're intended to be kind of a mural in the round.
Uh-huh.
Now here's one I did on global warming or climate change. I did a portrait of Greta Thunberg.
Mm,
Oh, wonderful. Can we see that? Is this the Greta Thunberg piece?
Maddie's got to keep talking or
Okay.
say something, Maddie. Let me, and I'll pin you. Maddie's say, go ahead.
This is Greta Thunberg, kind of a portrait of Greta Thunberg using her words to draw her, a picture of her, you know. And then on this piece, I have the principles of permaculture. I worked into landscape. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Boy,
Yes.
it's very impressive.
if I could be so bold, I'm compelled in 20 seconds just to try on my part to introduce Maddie. Mom and Maddie shared a studio in the late 70s. That's when I first got to know Maddie. And at that time, he worked in traditional Chinese brushstroke. It looked like these pots had carp across them that looked like they were thousands of years old. And so his early ability with his brush and such was just mind-boggling. And then he and I happened to study at a time where he wanted to change what it was he was drawing. He wanted to bust out, and he went through a disco dog phase as far as my telling his story, and he really broke out and has really been amazing and fun to watch. And his ability to throw a slab of 50 pounds clay and center it and make pots that sometimes he has to repel himself into the middle of the pot in a harness so that he can paint inside and then pull himself back out. That's how large some of these pots are.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And I'll hand it back to Maddie. I just wanted to get that in to give you some perspective on what you're seeing. His craftsmanship with the brush goes back 50 years, you know, and his ability to craft whatever it is he sees is there. So it's wonderful to see him when he wants to say something like this chicken soup pot. He's able to
this is a
incarnate lots of things. So
this-
I'll shut up now.
this
And
piece,
it's so interesting. It's a Swedish word, skolstrejk, on the big one. I'm from Sweden.
Yeah, we have an amazing group here. We have Ava from Sweden, Lana from Qatar, Mertz from Brazil.
Yeah.
We could go on, I'm sure.
It's a connection. It's a fabulous connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Putting
This is art.
together the dots, you can be so isolated as an artist working alone. We're usually alone when we're working like this. And so it means so much to be able to connect at this level about
Yeah.
our work.
And August Moon from Philippines is here on YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
So
Yeah, Maddie,
Wonderful.
one of the things I'm appreciating is these works are so big. You know, it's really a pleasure for us to be able to see them, because I'm sure you don't cart them around for exhibitions and things like that very often.
I do move them around sometimes. The Black Lives Matter piece they put in the museum right after George Floyd was murdered, which felt very good. So I'm working on where could these pieces actually end up, because they're 5,000 years from now, these are going to be what's left of our culture.
Right.
That's right.
So I feel like I'm just beginning, actually. I'm working with Colleen and seeing where the story can come out of me, into my work, the story of what I see and feel.
Oh, that's fabulous.
terrific. Thank you, Maddie.
It's always
You're
been there. Beautiful. And I think that your dedication, Maddie is a 24/7 potter, and you've always worked on developing your skill and your technique. I remember when we were sharing studio every night on Wednesdays, Maddie would drive up to Berkeley to study with his Chinese master.
Wow.
And that went on for 13 years, I think, Maddie. You studied with that gentleman.
Yes.
And the great Daniel Rhodes, those of you who are potters would know Daniel, who was head of the Alfred State University ceramics department and has written several books on ceramics. And Daniel retired to Santa Cruz. And one day he came to our studio and he saw Maddie's work. Maddie, you weren't there at the time, but you were just beginning to do those Chinese smaller pieces. And Daniel said, "This is genius. When this guy starts telling his own story, this is genius." And that's what you're doing.
Well,
Amazing.
thank you. Thank you, all of you, for including me in your the conversation.
Yeah, Maddie, thank you very much for showing this to us. Can you tell us your website, please, so that we know that?
My website is kind of antiquated. I'm actually posting a lot on Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Under
Okay.
Maddie Leeds Pottery. I do have a website that shows more of my studio than recent work. But Maddie Leeds Pottery on Instagram. And
Okay.
just Google my name for my website, Maddie Leeds.
Okay.
He's
Thank-
very active, and it's really exciting to see his work day to day. He's very active on Instagram.
That's terrific.
How do you spell this, Matty? I've just got my phone here. So is it Mattyle?
I'll put it in our chat.
Okay, thank you.
That'll be
Yeah,
great.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt.
You're
Let's
welcome.
move on to Mirtis.
Right.
Maddie, would you just say a word about this piece and what's going on around the foot of the
This piece is one of my recent attempts to explore finding a door into my subconscious. So this one I started with just the shape and making lines on the pot, and then coloring them in and starting to see things starting to come out at me as an image. And so it kind of developed. I mostly do figures and faces. And so this one kind of came out of the abstraction into this image. Can you all see that?
Yes, yes, it's a very nice. And Skip, to your interest, this is that rocky process.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
I know it. I know it clearly.
Yeah.
So in this respect, I feel like I'm just entering into new areas of creating something that is very exciting. And thank you all for supporting that.
Yeah. You're
Thank
quite
you.
welcome.
Thank you for showing us your magnificent work. Splendid.
That's great.
Incredible.
All right, Mirtis, can we hear from you?
Yes, hi. I'm a little bit nervous. This is my first Confluence,
Thank you,
and
Maddie.
I am not a professional artist. I just started to play with a school watercolor very short time ago, and I did a very small painting with watercolor and ink that Penelope made a connection with Colleen's works about Lilith. And,
yes.
and she said that.
Oh, I have to make you co-presenter. Just a moment.
Yes.
Co-host, make co-host. There we go.
How do I do to share?
There you are. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
How can I share my screen?
Not sure.
You'll find a button, I don't know if it's down on the screen or up. There is something called share, and then you can click on it like an arrow, up arrow.
I think I have it. Thank you. Thanks so much, Lana.
No worries.
Yes. Are you seeing my screen?
No,
not yet.
I'm not very good with this. Maybe I will share a picture. Let me see if I can get this right.
Meanwhile,
I'm so sorry. This is my first time doing this.
It's okay. There's a first time for everything.
Right. And meanwhile, I thought I saved it somewhere too.
Well, I sent it to your phone.
Oh yeah, it's on my phone.
Send it to your phone.
Yeah. Just a minute. Go ahead, Mertz. If you can find it, get it to work.
Do you see it now?
Yeah, we see it now. Yes, yes.
Oh, finally.
Oh my. Nice.
Very nice.
Wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
This was about a dream that I had that was actually very different from the image, but I had a dream that I asked the doorman of my building to bring me one iguana. I don't know if in English is the same word.
Yeah.
And a green snake, young, like baby iguana and baby green snake. In this dream, I asked him to bring me. And he did, and he gave me them. And on the back side of my building, in the dream, we had trees. Here we don't have space or even soil to have trees on the back of the building. So it was a scenario from my unconscious. The front part of the building is the same, but in the back part of the building is completely different, and it has 3 trees. And I asked the snake and the iguana to put on one of the trees, the one in the left or in the right if I'm facing the back of my building. And I take them to the tree, and they feel very fastly, very comfortable there. The little snake gets to a branch, and the iguana goes to a small water. There is a very little kind of pond with a little water that the iguana went to drink from it. And after that, I got worried because I remember that iguanas eat leaves and fruit, and that would be easier for me. But how would I feed the snake? Because the snake eats small animals, and I would be very sad to give them small rats or things like that. But then I decided that I should keep her, and I would figure out how to take care of her. And in the tree in the middle, there were 3 trees. And in the tree in the middle, I noticed that there was already a huge big dragon, very beautiful and colorful, that someone else has placed there in the tree in the middle. And I don't know, that was the dream. And after that, when I was trying to paint something, I thought maybe I should put the snake and the iguana back into nature. That is a better place for them. So that's why I did this painting. And to me, those animals are not something that I fear. I love every kind of creatures, even those ones that can harm me. I respect them. And I know that those green snakes are not dangerous. And I like a lot the color green. And in my teenage years, in the house of my teenage years, I grew up with iguanas on my window. So they were always good company. I felt happy to see them and to even talk to them. Maybe this was revisiting that part of my life. So, and I like the lizards and the how do we say in English? Reptiles?
Reptiles, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reptiles. I like them because of the thing of the skin. Sometimes along their lives, they get too big for their skin, so
Yes.
they have to change it.
Yes.
This is something I like a lot about them. And
That's a
that's
beautiful
basically
painting.
the meaning of the painting to me.
Very good. Thank
It's
you
so
so
full of
much.
life.
Yeah.
Beautiful painting.
Thank you, Merritt, for sharing your dream as well.
Yes.
And
I don't know
beautiful.
exactly what that dream meant, but I felt, I don't know, the iguana and the snake was something I needed
those
to
are
have around me.
I
very
think,
meaningful.
yeah, I think also when I zoomed into this, the beautiful little splashes, I don't know how you created that on your painting, but
They are with metallic paint.
beautiful, the detail that
Yes.
zooming in, I noticed it. And I thought, wow, I have to find out how you'll have to give me a lesson how you're doing that.
Yes. Yes, I like the scratch the scratching marks along the bottom of the tree and how that reflects as a shadow on the earth underneath the tree, how it
Yes.
ties the images together with that technique. It's a very beautiful tree, a very beautiful painting. And
Thank you.
you touch such a deep archetype, for all of us, the iguana and the snake and the understanding that the reptile, has to change in order to live in the atmosphere that it's living in at the time. I think you're touching on something very magical and very needed for us to understand about where we are on this path right now.
Yes, I feel it.
Yes.
The word magical, really speaks to me, and luminous. There's a luminous quality about it. When I first saw it, I just wanted to dive into that tree. It felt so embracing and wonderful. And hey, it's great to see you, Meretz.
Oh, good to see you
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith. This is a beautiful, meaningful image.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
Thank you.
An active imagination.
Yes.
You did the work that Jung wanted us to do,
Yes.
and into nature again. The whole process, and it's so feels so good to have this picture, the late in this
Yes.
YouTube as
Mhm.
Thank you.
collecting.
And it's very precise painting because look at the size compared to a pen. It's very small
Yes.
paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I notice here is the snake in particular has this beautiful feminine form. It almost
Yes.
looks like you're looking at the back of a woman's body
Mm.
with her, the small of her back and her thigh and the calf. And it makes me think about the fourth element that Jung talked about in the Trinity that is missing, both the dark element and the feminine element.
Mhm.
And here they are right at the root of your tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
I
And
like
go on, Colleen, please.
I like that how you describe the animals that are dangerous, the creatures that are dangerous and could harm you, and yet you love them, and
Yes.
you want to learn how to take care of them.
Yes.
It's almost like Lana's negotiation card. How do you take care of what it is that we're being asked to confront? And
Yeah.
that it's quite frightening at times, and we want to turn the other way. But your description of loving it, loving the creature, and wanting to learn how to take care of it, not conquer it, not get rid of it, but take care of it.
Yes.
I like that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
Yes.
great.
And that thought of changing the skin, how we need to change the skin we're in now and
Yes.
transform ourselves to get back to nature and nurture each other and nature itself.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
you.
When it doesn't fit us anymore, we have to shred. Is it the right word? Shred our old skin.
Shed
Yeah.
our old
Shed.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had another image that skip from the ones I've sent him. He thought it would be
Oh yeah.
interesting.
Okay, let me give you back sharing permission here. Just a
Yes.
second. Okay. There, wait a minute. Okay, now you could show us.
Yes. That's this one. No, wait.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that
very
actually
nice.
that's the one I wanted you to show because I wanted you.
Wow.
I have it here. It is it was by accident that I created it, because this was a cardboard that came. I bought a Van Gogh print,
Mhm.
and it came with inside a plastic bag and had this cardboard
Mhm.
to keep it flat. And it was a gray cardboard, and I thought, well, it's my opportunity to train how to draw with crayons.
Absolutely.
So it was basically my first attempt to use crayons.
Wow.
And
Fantastic.
this woman came to me, and about her, I wish that you could tell me, because I don't really know. Maybe it's more from the collective than from myself. But if it is from the collective, also is from myself.
It looks
But
like a self-portrait.
Yeah,
Yes,
well
it
said.
does.
Well
That's
said,
what I
though.
thought.
Yeah.
Self-portrait.
do you think so? I don't know. Maybe.
I think that if you were to follow Jung's progressing the image, to maybe slowly try to do her again with a different hairdo.
Or it could be interesting. I will try that.
We are only seeing half of her right now, you know?
Yes.
So maybe just slowly try something else and see more about who's there.
Yes, to show her whole face.
Yeah.
To see her whole face, actually.
Yes.
Well, it looks like mystery.
And maybe hear what she's saying when she can say it, when she's ready to say it. What does she have to say to you?
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you.
I like the look in her eye. It did remind me a bit of a self-portrait, but I love the look in her eye. And I would love to say that Colleen does workshops on Zoom, and I think that we did a couple I attended, and Colleen asked me to progress a collage that was done of women with open arms, and it was a brilliant piece that I was very happy with it. But the interesting thing is that when I progressed it, I was shocked how beautiful this image. I've printed it now, and somebody bought one copy of this image. So that's my first art sale in my life.
Oh, that's wonderful. Great.
Yeah. Also, Meritz, I wanted to ask you about your this pillow there. Did you make that pillow?
The crochet one?
Yeah, I guess.
No, but I do some crocheting.
I see.
That one wasn't made by me, but I do.
Oh, it's just an interesting thing. Go ahead.
So can I just say the progressing, so the gift that Colleen asking me that and not really understanding it, but just going ahead, it created something that unexpected from myself, that I look at it and I think, wow, how did I do that? So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful gift to be asked to progress something. So if you progress it, Mertz, I'd love to see it.
Yes, I
good.
I feel the invitation, the calling. I will do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I will share with you.
Good.
Meritz,
Well,
I
look
wanted
forward to
to
that.
tell you it's mystery, the depth in the eye. And I think it seems to reflect what intuit is in you, something very deep.
Yeah, and that's terrific drawing skill there.
Yes.
Because I've looked at a lot of portrait drawing books, and to have that eye is that clear is just wonderful. The way you've done it.
I like drawing eyes. I am working on one eye right now, but it's just a sketch so far.
Yeah, we have a comment on YouTube from August Moon, who's coming to us from the Philippines. And she says, "Thank you, Matt, for sharing such a meaningful dream captured by your art. Your tree reminds me of our mango land and mangrove land sea trees. And your woman painting comes across to me like a self-portrait. Maybe your shadow because of the darker colors, but I would add it certainly adds mystery to your painting. I mean, images of women are always mysterious to men, I think. So
Oh, wow. Thank you.
That's a wonderful comment, particularly making the connection with the animal. And now that you've talked about it a little bit more, you see that she is covered, and now you're talking about creatures that have to reveal themselves more as they change their skin. As she unveils her hairdo, the snake lets go of a skin. There's something about the story itself relating to an archetype that goes through that process. An archetype of the creature that sheds its skin, the archetype of the woman who slowly reveals herself.
Oh, that's
yes.
And one of the things I notice is just the picture of you that's up that we get when you leave the screen has your face partially obscured by a cup.
Yes.
So to
That's
me,
true.
I feel like
That's
this.
true.
I feel like
let me move my hair away from my face right now.
But
It's
yeah,
wonderful.
I feel like today is part of your self-revelation.
absolutely.
Thank you, Judith.
So I just want to ask everyone on YouTube, please tell us what country you're viewing us from, because we also have someone from South Africa here. And so this is really a global event here. And I just want to point that out to everyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, in the interest of time, I think we should start closing up. But before we do Penelope's poem, I just want to invite all of us here present that if you know other people that want to share a creative spurt of some kind, they can get a hold of Skip, and maybe Skip, you can put your email in the chat.
I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
And we do one of these meetings about every 6 weeks?
Yeah, except I think this will be the last one for this year because we're getting into the holiday season. So we'll probably do one in early January, I guess. But if we have a bunch of people that are ready to go, maybe we can do it earlier. But it's people get busy with holiday things, plans and stuff. So I was thinking early January is when we should do our next one, if that's okay with everyone.
I think that's a great idea because I think with what's coming up in the next week for the USA, the elections, and then the whatever else is going on, I think people need space to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. In any case, anybody is welcome to submit something to be shared. We're always looking for new material. So pass the word. There's
Yeah.
no entry requirement or anything.
Yeah.
So Penelope, you're going to share a
Okay.
poem with us?
I'm going to be vulnerable now. I'm going to say my grammar is, I was never really taught. I left school very young and my grammar's never been great. So I asked ChatGPT to sort out my punctuation and it did a beautiful job. I wrote this poem in 2023, but I thought, how am I reading it? I've started having voice coaching lessons the last month and doing scales. And one of the songs was on Alleluia, where I've been asked to use the word no. And we've been going, no, 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 no. So it's been a wonderful opening arms and opening as the collage that Colleen worked with, I've been opening my arms and I've been opening my expression of my voice. So I'm very grateful for these groups and these meetings. And I'll read this little, very short poem. So, the love I seek is in my heart. I see it clear and not apart. I see my soul right through my eyes and all the times I've been alive. Cycles come and cycles go, and in form I move, in form I flow. And when I'm not, I'm still the same, a full collection, all untamed, nothing to prove, no words to speak, no paths to cross, no bones to tweak. And each life, as precious lot, come to learn what we are not.
Very
Nice.
beautiful.
Thank you,
Oh,
Penelope.
thank you.
Wonderful.
Amazing. Wow.
Oh, I wish you would read it again,
Okay.
please.
And just for everyone who's listening on the repeat of this on YouTube, we will
Playback.
listen again, and we hope you'll send other artists to us for future events. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the love I seek is in my heart, and I see it clear and not apart. I see my soul right through my eyes, and all the times I've been alive. Cycles come and cycles go, and in form I move, in form I flow, and when I'm not, I'm still the same, a full collection, all untamed, nothing to prove, no words to speak, no paths to cross, no bones to tweak, and each life, as precious lot, come to learn what we are not. I feel very emotional today after Lana's story, so I really appreciate
Yes.
a lot of emotion here. So
Yes.
really, thank you.
It's very nice.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
And in all of
Thank you,
these, I
Lana.
see a real celebration of life, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And on YouTube, we have a guest from Ireland as well. And
Oh, cool.
that's special for me because I have a full-blooded Irish son-in-law.
Amazing.
Oh, it's been so good.
Yeah. Thank you so
All right.
much, everyone. This has
Yes.
been a wonderful event, and I really appreciate your coming. Go ahead,
Yes.
Tim. You can close it out.
Well, special thanks to Lana. I think it's so courageous of you to share your story with us,
Yes.
and
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
gosh,
so
the best of luck,
Thank you.
and our prayers are with you. Please give our support to your family, and
Sure.
boy, we want to keep in touch. So it's good to know that you have a Instagram account. We can follow you there, maybe.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Keep
I'll leave
painting.
it at the chat, of course.
Yes, and keep painting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Just put your Instagram on the chat, Alana. Can you do that?
Yeah, we'll do that. Right. I'll just put the link of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put the link in the chat, in the meeting chat.
That
I
would be
don't
great.
working.
We'll give it a minute for everyone to pick it up.
Sure. So
Okay.
this is the. I don't know if you got it.
Yep.
I think
Yes.
so.
That's it.
I can see it. I found you
Yeah.
as well, so I think I've been following you. I'll take a look afterwards. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And I put it out on YouTube as well.
Perfect.
So,
Thank you.
Okay.
thank you, Lana and Sel
Thank you.
and Maddie.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Birthdays.
Thank you.
Thank you for the
Presenting.
opportunity.
Thank you.
And
Bye, Colleen, everybody.
and so I'll be going to the end of the Navy Notre Dame game. It's a long story, but in 1940, the Brothers of Notre Dame were going to shut the place down, and the Navy came along and saved it by giving them an NROTC unit. And so the result is that Notre Dame has to play Navy every year.
We'll have a good game.
Take care now.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Go
Take care.
Navy.